At the moment, the featherweight division is booming. It was very certain that Murphy would earn the next chance at the crown, after Diego Lopez and Lerone Murphy both recorded significant victories, as Lopez had already had his chance. However, a fresh name has entered the picture just when everything appeared to be clear. Zal Youssef. Zal recently extended his winning record to 8 straight with a decisive victory over Josh Emmett, a former interim title contender. Now, he's challenging Lerone Murphy for a title eliminator, claiming that if Lopez wins his rematch with the champion, this is the fight that makes the most sense. Zal said in a recent interview with Ariel Helwani that he and Murphy are both on winning streaks and that a bout between them would determine who is deserving of the next opportunity to win the title. However, there is a single issue. Following an injury layoff, Movsar Evloev, the unbeaten English competitor, is now fully recovered and should make a quick comeback. Given Evloev's stellar wrestling career and unbeaten record, his return might completely upend the title picture once more. Aljamain Sterling, who recently defeated Ortega, is another. At the moment, the 145-pound class is as packed as ever.
More than 2 away, right?
I beat Murphy and finish Murphy, I get a title shot.
You think Murphy takes your fight? He takes this opportunity to fight you because he's talking title shot and no one else.
I don't blame him. I mean, would you blame him?
No,
like,
I think he should get it.
For a title shot too, but I was like, I can't blame him. So I just see how the UFC is. You know what I mean? It's like if Diego gets a title shot, he has no choice. He's gonna wait for a year or 9 months. It depends on how the fight goes between Diego and Volk. If that's the other case, it's gonna probably be him and Murphy, but who knows? So I just wanted to put my name out there and give my opportunity. So at least slide my name a little bit out there.
Yeah.
That was the whole.
Sean O'Malley thinks that knocking Merab Dvalish's unconscious is the only effective way to stop him. The champion's pace and cardio are just too strong for anyone to defeat him in a decision. Furthermore, O'Malley asserts that he is the only one with the necessary authority to accomplish it. Let's be honest now. Saying he is the one to overthrow the champion seems irrational to someone who has been subjugated by him twice and even defeated once. Although Sugara is the best bantamweight fighter in terms of pure knockout power, that doesn't change what transpired during their fight. His criticism simply isn't really valid at the moment. O'Malley knows he needs a few victories before he can get another chance at the White House event in 2026, but he is still aiming for Merab. Despite all the rumors about moving up, the Georgian machine has stated that he will remain at bantamweight. The champion's next move appears to be a rematch with Peter Yan, most likely in December. Yes, within 2 months. Dvalishvili is eager to return as quickly as possible. Additionally, December is the next open pay-per-view window. Let's examine Sugara's suggestions for defeating Merab.
Guys, to beat Merab, you just have to land that shot. You have to be able to fucking snipe him. And he was getting a little bit more reckless. The more confident he gets in his striking, the more gaps it leaves open to be caught. That's just the only, I don't see really anyone being able, I do think I'm the only I hate to say it. I hate to fucking say it. I'm the only one that can beat him. They give me a shot at the White House. Now I gotta go out there and get some wins. But I don't see anyone really beat Merab anytime soon. He needs to be clipped, needs to be knocked out and put to sleep to beat him. And I just don't really see anyone other than myself being able to do that.
The headlines swiftly became embarrassing for the recently crowned champion, Alex Pereira, only 1 day after Khamzat Chimaev's audacious heavyweight call-out of him. Sean Strickland, a former UFC middleweight champion and former Chimaev sparring partner, was candid about his interactions with Khamzat. Strickland described in great detail how he completely controlled Chimaev in sparring, revealing his mental flaws and the reasons he thinks he should overthrow him. He made it apparent that he isn't scared to step in by throwing his own call-out at the end. Furthermore, Strickland provided explanations for why the Chechen strategy to defeat Pereira would not be as straightforward. He emphasized how absurdly difficult it is to take down Pereira due to his innate stance and core posture, which allows him to respond quickly to any takedown attempt. After losing by decision to former champion Dricus du Plessis, Strickland is currently serving the last few months of his suspension for assaulting a fighter at an MMA event while awaiting his comeback. Now, let's get started and listen to Strickland's chat with MMA Junkie.
Khamzat Chimaev call mode as well, but I don't think that there's as much desire in that one with Khamzat moving up. He hasn't even defended the belt yet.
Yeah, dude, fucking Chimaev, dude. Made me realize I should wrestle, dude. You know, dude, that little dude, I can't stand fucking Chimaev, dude, son cunt. You know, I think what annoys me about Chimaev, there's nobody that could beat him. You know, like, as like I've trained with all the guys he's gonna fight, like I've trained with Chimaev, dude. For one round, the guy could grapple. For one round, dude, once you get over that one round of scramble, he just quits. It just turns into a kickboxing match, like what he did with the 55 or the 70 or what's his name? Gilbert. Yeah. Like once he realizes he can't like maul you and you don't quit, he quits and turns into a boxing match. And I just don't know if there's anybody at that division other than me that like knows what it's like to grapple those. And I was fucking mauling him and grappling. I've been training with those fucking cave dwellers, dude, my whole life, dude. Like these motherfuckers live in this gym, dude.
You don't give Nasruddin much of a chance. They do fight.
No way. I don't know. I would imagine that me and Fluffy might be going at it. I don't know, dude. I would imagine that's a fight to make.
Keeping up with Alex. Following his fierce first-round knockout of Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 320, Pereira hasn't wasted any time agitating social media. His most recent tweet, which mocks Ankalaev for failing to deliver after months of derogatory remarks online, has a side-by-side view of the two fighters warming up before the fight, with the comment, "Each one did in the fight what they trained in the locker room." Everyone is now discussing Pereira's future. Pereira seems to have his sights set higher, discussing a possible confrontation with John Jones in the White House, even if the majority of fans are demanding a belt defense against Carlos Ulberg. In a recent episode of Submission Radio, the hosts talked about this and pointed out that if Pereira does advance, it will not only be a tremendous challenge for him, but also a huge payoff for the UFC, and a battle that fans will not soon forget. The MMA community is aflutter just at the prospect. Furthermore, it appears that Pereira is not happy to remain at 205. He desires the opportunity to establish his legacy across 3 divisions, the big money and the big fights. We had to keep in mind that the White House event is almost a year away. Therefore, it makes perfect sense to file a title defense against Ulberg before then.
Hypothetical world, let's say Tom in this world beats Cyril, because anything can happen in heavyweight. Who's left for Tom to fight? He's already beat Volkov. He's already beat, like, if Jailton beats Volkov, that's the fight. But if Volkov beats Jailton, Tom's not going to say no. But do you think they want to put Volkov in a heavyweight fight or Alex Pereira in a heavyweight fight? I feel like the UFC is going to want to make money and stick Alex Pereira in a heavyweight fight. Because if Alex somehow beats Tom Aspinall, there's your Alex Pereira versus John Jones in the UFC White House. There you go. John gets both of his wishes. He gets to fight for a belt, he gets to fight Alex, and he gets to fight in the White House. And I say this not knowing anything, because obviously anything can happen, but the UFC is going to be one of those things where no matter what division he's in, they're going to try and slot him into a title shot because he's a popular star.
Dude, I'll tell you what, having Alex Pereira in the heavyweight division for the UFC, not a bad little way to get John Jones and back into rotation. You could set up like a Gane fight with Alex Pereira even if he loses.